I've mentioned this on the channel before, but the only cringe millennial over obsession I have with any sort of franchise is with Batman. So I figured let's go ahead and do a tier list video because there's a lot to cover. I'm going to cover pretty much every Batman film. I think there's a couple that are left off, but anything that Batman has appeared in. So keep that in mind. I will try to, there might be slight spoilers here, but the spoilers will kind of come more at the end of the video if you haven't seen some of these. But I've pretty much seen every single Batman movie. I'm pretty sure I have seen, yeah, I don't think there was, going through the list, I don't think there was even one that I didn't see at one point. I don't think I'm going to talk about all of them here today because I don't remember and I don't really have a strong enough opinion to be able to talk about some of these. But yes, I'm overly obsessed with Batman. I don't care how many, like, I don't care what movie comes out. And I'm not even a big movie person. I don't watch TV or watch movies really, but I'll always watch Batman movies. And it's actually kind of funny because you'll catch me talking about how much I'm so tired of superhero movies, but I'm actually not tired of all superhero movies. I'm cool with this, and I'm cool with Spider-Man. But yeah, I don't know. Ever since I was a kid, I've been obsessed with Batman. So here we go. We got a little tier list. I've added an F. Here's the thing. I just wanted to add right now that I'm a pretty big critic. I'm a harsh movie critic. Actually, people hate me for this. This is why I'm not a movie person. Like, because I don't watch movies, when I do actually set out the time to watch a movie, if it's not really, really good, I'm going to be mad. I'm just not, I just get mad. I don't know. Like, and I don't know if this has always been the case. This has been the case for me for a long time. I think I'm starting to lighten up a little bit as I've gotten older, where I'm like, okay, well, as long as I'm kind of enjoying it, then I will be kind of happy. But for the vast majority of my life, I think between the ages of like 14 to like 28, like if I was going to watch a 2-hour movie, that shit better be good. That shit better be so good. Like, why did I waste 2 hours for like a movie that feels like a C or a B, which, you know, you guys might not like this, but that's really why I don't like Marvel movies. I just have despised those movies for my entire life. Like, not even Iron Man 1. I watched Iron Man 1 in theaters in 2008, and I didn't like it. I just cannot stand those movies. So, yes, I can stand Batman, and maybe it's just because of like I said, I've been watching Batman since I was a little kid. I was watching the animated series in the 90s, so maybe that's the only reason why. So if you like Marvel movies because you're younger and they remind you of your childhood, that's fine, actually, because I'm clearly the same way. But anyways, let's get into this. I don't even know what movie I'm going to start with, but I guess that's a good one. I can kind of see it inching forward. We've got Batman 1989. This is the one with Jack Nicholson as the Joker, and man, I'm blanking on his name, but Beetlejuice as Batman. This was after like 20 years after no Batman movie had come out. I heard this movie was actually like huge in that summer. Like, this movie changed so much in 1989. It was such a big hit. It was also by dang, I'm blanking on so many names right now. I'm so not good at like celebrities anymore. Holy crap, Tim Burton. Why could I not remember that name? And then here we go. Michael Keaton as well was in the cast. So yes, that was, I'll be honest. Okay, so maybe it's because I wasn't there to see it. I thought it was fine. I guess it was okay. I do really like Jack Nicholson. I'll be honest. I don't even really know why. One of my favorite movies of all time is The Shining. Whenever anyone asks me, and The Shining is kind of a diplomatic answer that I give people. It's something that, like, is it actually my favorite movie of all time? If I really think about it, I don't think so. It's up there. It's maybe in the top 3, but I just tell people because it's a good diplomatic answer. It's a classic. Like, it's kind of funny. Yeah. Anyways, it is kind of a funny film, but I do really like Jack Nicholson. I don't love this movie. I think I'll give it a B for Batman. I'm sure if I was older and I was there for when it launched and I was there in that summer of 1989, I think I would love it, but it's kind of whatever. I might even think about putting it in a C, to be honest. Don't be mad at me. Oh, man. Yeah. Yes, but it all kind of roots back to nostalgia, I guess. So, let's go ahead. Dang, I don't want to. Let's somewhat go in order here. At least starting in 1989, we are going to hit the old Batman films though in the 60s, the old one from the 60s. But Batman Returns. Okay, the main reason why I'm making this tier list video is so that I can actually be a writer. What's the word? I could be a D writer for Batman Returns. Batman Returns is a good movie. It does not get enough credit. I love Batman Returns. This is the second film, also with Tim Burton, also with Michael Keaton returning as Batman, and Michelle Pfeiffer. Holy crap, she is hot. That left an imprint on my young little mind. Michelle Pfeiffer as Catwoman just changed my life. Anyways, also Danny DeVito as those three, just all three of them killed it. And it's funny because when you look at reviews, it didn't get that good of reviews. Like the original Batman 1989 it was claimed to be a lot better, but with retrospect, in hindsight, honestly, I think I might put it S. Honestly, I might put it S. This is one of my favorite Batman films, Batman Returns. I love this movie. The Christmas vibes, the Penguin, Danny DeVito is so iconic. He's so terrifying. So is Michelle Pfeiffer's Catwoman. There's never going to be a better Catwoman. I'm going to move on from this movie, but it's I should do a tier list video of the Catwomans I like. I did like Zoe Kravitz a lot as Catwoman. I did not like Anne Hathaway, but we'll get there. We'll get there. This is a very different topic for me to talk about. Okay, so let's continue to go somewhat in order. Not Batman. Oh, Batman Forever. Okay, so this came out in 1995, I think. This is with Val Kilmer, and it's with Jim Carrey as the Joker. Why is this glitching out? Can this not glitch out? I don't know where I'm going to put this. We had a Two-Face, a really wonky Jim Carrey. Was it Joel, something with an S, who just kind of passed away a couple years ago? So it wasn't Tim Burton as the director anymore. This was a really campy film. It was going to get campier. But I don't hate this movie, to be quite honest. It's not great. But there were moments in this movie, Batman Forever, that were actually really good. You could tell that the director wanted to keep some of the original two films vibe, because it's supposed to be still in the same universe. It's supposed to be a sequel technically still. But there were moments where it's oh, this is really good. I'm trying to there was also a deleted scene where Val Kilmer's looking at this giant bat that's flying at him. It's this giant machine bat. That was a cool moment. They were really good. And I thought Val Kilmer wasn't a bad Batman. I think he gets bad, he doesn't get enough credit for this. I thought he did a fine job, but that's all I have to say about that. I'm putting that with C, and I know that's with the original Batman. I'm sure people would hate me. The older generation is probably going to hate me for that, but it's not better. I'm not putting it here. I'm going to put it there, though. And yes, okay, and I'm going to keep on going. We're going I think it's 1999. I had a poster. I remember when I was a kid, I must have been 5 when this came out, of Batman and Robin. This was actually probably the first Batman film I ever saw. Before I saw any of these, I saw Batman and Robin first. And this is infamously probably one of the worst superhero movies of all time. It is not good, but it is entertaining. As somebody that loves The Room, and it sucks because I feel like a little bit of the magic of The Room. Have you with Tommy Wiseau? Is it Tommy Wiseau? A little bit of The Room was lost when James Franco made that one movie about the making of The Room. What was that called again? It was a couple years ago. But anyways, The Room was highly considered the worst movie of all time, period. That and Killer Clowns from the Outer Space. As you can see, I'm a huge fan of really bad movies, and I loved The Room. I liked Killer Clowns. I like watching bad 80s horror movies. So it shouldn't be a surprise that I actively don't hate this. It's a funny, fun, entertaining movie to watch, I think. I mean, say what you will about it, but it is entertaining. It is an entertaining movie. I don't think I have the heart in me to put it at C, but I'm going to put it at D. It's not going in F. It is not going in F, because I still will watch it. If it's on the movie channels, I don't have TV, but my parents do, and if I'm at my parents' house and it's on, I'm going to watch it because it's entertaining. Yeah, I mean, say what you will, but it is an entertaining movie. Okay, let's continue to go in order because I'm liking this order. Batman Begins, the start of the Christopher Nolan Batman movies. I'll be honest, I didn't like this movie that much. I remember being a kid watching this. I think it came out in 2003, and the truth is, I still don't really like this movie that much. I won't, like, I guess I'll watch it. I don't know. This movie got good reviews, and I know people really like this movie. And everyone, when it comes to the Nolan series, this is always everyone's second pick. And I'm not saying it's not my second pick of my favorite Christopher Nolan Batman movies, but I don't like this movie. I mean, I shouldn't say that. I'm not like a huge fan of this movie. When I was a kid and when I watch it now, I'm just like, meh. Obviously, we had Oppenheimer as the Scarecrow, Cillian Murphy as Scarecrow. Back when he was really looking funky, man, he was looking crazy. And I'm not surprised that Nolan casted him as the villain, as one of the villains in this movie, because he just had such a weird, unique sort of face. I was just learning about a couple years ago. I was learning about how like Cillian Murphy tried to be Batman. He originally tried out to be Batman. Obviously, they went with Christian Bale, but that would have been interesting. I don't think I would have hated that. I don't think I would have hated a Cillian Murphy Batman. I know other people didn't like the idea, but that would have been an interesting one. I would like to see a film where Cillian Murphy plays an old Batman now. That'd be interesting, like as a post-Oppenheimer. Imagine Batman makes the nuclear device. Wait, actually he did in one of the movies. Anyways, yeah. I'm going to say it's there. I still prefer the 1989 original Batman over Batman Begins, but definitely Batman Begins is better than Batman Forever. I'm going to put it right there. Okay, the big one. This is probably up there with one of my top 5 best favorite movies of all time. This is obviously going S. This is probably ahead of Batman Forever. Batman Returns. Sorry. Yeah, this is probably my favorite superhero movie of all time, and one of my favorite one of my favorite movies in general of all time. Probably top 5. I think it still holds up to this day. I was watching this the other day, watching a couple scenes. Hasn't aged perfectly, but it's a film that's 16 years old now. Like, the fact that we are still referencing it. Meanwhile, not to throw any shade, what Marvel movie from around this time period is still being referenced? Almost nothing. I mean, Iron Man maybe, but that's about it. It's crazy. I still see Heath Ledger Joker references. The cinematography from The Dark Knight is incredible. This movie changed my life. I watched it in theaters. It was just, I was just blown away by that. I mean, I think I was 16 when this came out, and it just blew my freaking mind. That and Inception 2 years later by Christopher Nolan as well. That just changed everything for me. I don't think there's really much to be said that hasn't already been said, but yeah, that's going to be number 1 for sure. I don't think anyone can beat that. What comes after that? Oh, that's right, The Dark Knight Returns. Or Dark Knight Rises, sorry. Just like Batman Begins, I didn't like this movie that much either. However, and again, I know people are going to disagree with me on this, I would rather watch this than Batman Begins. I really don't like the beginning of Batman Rises, the exposition and all the build-up. This is funny, me talking about this, because I just don't know movies anymore. I used to be a big movie guy, and now I just don't really watch many movies at all. But anyways, that was a random rant. I don't think I don't think that I will ever be as hyped for a movie that I was hyped. I don't think there will ever be a movie that I will be as hyped for as I was for The Dark Knight Rises. I was so incredibly hyped for that movie. It was like I thought heaven was gonna come down and miracles were gonna happen when this. I mean, I think I was like overly obsessed with this movie for like 6 months before it came out, and that's because of how much I loved The Dark Knight. So when it did come out and it wasn't the best movie ever, it hurt. And now it's obviously been 12 years. I can look at it with fresh eyes. I like to watch it. I like the twist, which, the Talia al Ghul twist. I love Bane. they did kind of make Bane just kind of a simp at the end. I'm gonna put it here in B. I'm sorry, I know people won't love that, but it's gonna get a B for me. B for Batman. It had so many holes, and it's such a mess. It's just such a messy movie. I feel like Christopher Nolan kind of lost a big edge after he dropped this. That's what another movie tier list I should do is Nolan movies, because I do really like Nolan movies. But yeah, it's gonna get a solid B. It's a mess, but I still would like to watch it. I think it's still kind of funny to watch. I don't even know which one to do. Oh, Batman vs Superman. I guess we'll do that one next. This is where Batman kind of lost a big edge as well in general. I think he peaked Dark Knight, and then things started to collapse around here. I watched I just am not a big cinematic universe sort of guy. I don't like Marvel, and I don't like the Justice League movies at all. You're going to see. I don't think Batman vs. Superman is horrible. It's not great, but it's not bad either. I do like it. It's better than Batman Forever. It's not better than these two. I don't hate it. I just want to say again, I don't hate Batman vs. The training scene where Batman's like preparing to fight Superman. I thought it was pretty cool. And obviously the Martha thing was stupid. Justice League it's crazy. I mean, I don't need to give my own 2 cents about this, but I wanted to like Justice League because I never liked the Marvel movies. So when I heard that DC was going to make Justice League, and that, when they first announced that, Christopher Nolan was the overseer, the supervisor, a producer. So I was like, oh, this might be good. Come to find out, he really didn't do anything. He just kind of slapped his name up there for I don't know, marketing purposes. But I don't think he really did anything. Yes, Batman vs Superman, blah. And I guess we'll get into Justice League. I hated both these movies. I hated them. And no, I didn't like the what's it called cut, the Zack Snyder cut. Nope, I hated both of them. I saw both of them. I hated them. This is getting like, I don't even like to watch these movies. Like this, I will watch because it's funny and bad. This isn't even funny and bad. See, that's the problem with, I think, movies nowadays. Like, it's hard to watch. I don't even know if I was showing that, but it's hard to watch these movies. I put it in D behind Batman and Robin. Like, movies are just so generic and boring now that they're not even entertaining to watch, I feel like, as of the last couple years. That's my theory. That's my opinion anyways. I don't like these movies at all. And this movie's not even bad and entertaining to watch. Both. And again, the Snyder Cut was just long and boring to me. But, yeah. But I did like Batman vs. Superman more than this. Obviously, this was a disaster, both in and out. What do we go with next? Here, real quick, let's just do a little side mission. The original 69? It's so wonky, it's so memey, but that's the cool thing about Batman, is that he can go like this Spider-Man route a little bit and be a little campy. Like, Batman can be the crazy, like, serious James Bond movie, dramatic and serious and all that stuff. But he can also be like campy and fun and Spider-Man and kind of a Marvel movie, and the tone really got set here with the first original, the original Batman comics, and then this movie in the 60s. I mean, it's weird and still enjoyable, and yeah, I don't love it. I mean, I didn't grow up with it, so it doesn't really have like a close place in my heart, but funny to watch. I feel like everyone needs to watch it, even if it's pretty bad. I wouldn't be surprised if modern audiences give it an F. I understand, but I appreciate what they were doing for the time period. Like, it's just fun and campy and things like that. Okay, here's the other side mission that I wanted to go on. I did watch this animated Killing Joke. I believe this came out in the 90s, right? I liked this movie a lot. It's this animated movie. I believe it was the 90s, about a super iconic part of the comics. So that's definitely getting B. The ending scene is still used in memes. It's still very relevant. The scene with Batman and the Joker, and it just gives you a lot of the origin story. Speaking of which, I'll stay on animated and go with Batman, the animated Lego Movie. This is going A for me, baby. I loved this movie. I saw this in theaters. The person that I was with fell asleep, but I loved this a lot. Again, back to the whole campy thing. It's fun and campy, but that made it enjoyable. I just like that a lot. I don't know. I really like this. I like animated movies. I don't really know where that comes from. I guess I've always, I don't like real life stuff. I don't know. Maybe that's also a very millennial feature of me, but I'd rather watch animated TV shows. Animated movies are easier for me to get into. I don't watch any movies, but if it's animated, I'm way more likely. I don't know why. I've always been interested in animation. I wish that I could make a YouTube channel about animation, but that's really difficult, and it's very, very hard, and I don't know anything about animation, but I've always respected animation. Yes, I love the Batman Lego Movie. I guess we'll get this out of the way. The Suicide Squad. I did not like this movie at all. It's definitely better than Justice League to me. This is a Batman movie because Batman appeared in the movie. So that's how I kind of included that. Yeah, it sucks because I remember when that trailer first dropped, the teaser trailer to Suicide Squad looked incredible. It looked like we were finally going back to the serious Nolan days. It had been a couple years since we'd had a serious Batman. And apparently the rumors were the studio came in and just gutted it and edited it and turned it into another, fake Marvel ripoff movie. DC just kept doing that to their movies. So they kind of ruined this movie, but I would have loved to have seen the initial, I don't know, because at the same time I didn't love Zack Snyder, the Zack Snyder cut of Justice League. So even with David Ayers, right? Even with his initial vision, I might not have liked it, but I would have liked to have seen it. Maybe. It looked like it was actually going to try to take things seriously. The way it's filmed, the colors, the cinematography looked like they were trying to take that movie seriously. And then they came and just colored it up and made it all campy. Why did they do that? I don't know why I know why they did it, actually, because of the competitor, but yeah, still. Yeah, that's going D. Didn't like this at all. While we're on that subject, okay, here, I'm going to go with The Flash because I just mentioned, yes, the film from last year. What's funny is I had people asking me if I was going to watch this movie, and I'm like, why are they asking me to they know that I don't like to watch superhero movies unless it's Batman. So when they started asking me why, if I'm going to see The Flash, I'm immediately sussed out. I'm okay, something goes on in this movie that they want me to see. And if you're this far into the video, hopefully you knew something was coming. But yeah, they bring back Michael Keaton's Batman for The Flash because The Flash goes back into ulterior universes. Whatever. Spoiler alert. But yeah, it's not really a spoiler alert because this movie was trash. I hated this movie. I didn't like this movie. It's the same damn thing. It's I think it's probably better than Justice League, the original one. The Snyder cut isn't as bad as the original theatrical version. That's the theatrical version might even go down to here. We got to put something in F, right? It might get that. But yeah, didn't like this at all. It's just I don't know. Yeah. So I just watched that recently, and that's kind of the reason why I'm making this whole video is just to talk about that. Okay, original Joker, the 2019 version. Now the sequel has not come out to this yet. This movie was slightly controversial. I have a lot of people that are close to me that hated this movie. I, for one, loved it. I loved the Joker movie, and I loved seeing the hype around Joker as it was beginning to release. I mean, there was so many people that connected with that film for that time, 2019, right before the pandemic. I was seeing everyone change their profile pictures to Phoenix's Joker, and it was and the memes were everywhere, and you could just feel it. You could sense it in the internet. I was hyped for this movie because the trailers made it look good. The trailers made it look like, okay, because you have to think at that time, it had been since 2012 since they were serious with Batman. They tried to be serious with Batman vs. Superman, but it wasn't really the type of serious that I was hoping for. It was still a little campy with all the, the iron suit and things like that. And it's like, oh, finally we get a grounded version of Batman again. So it had been a couple years. I loved The Joker. I still love this movie. This movie's freaking good. This is a good movie. I don't think I can give it an A yet because I haven't watched it again in like 5 years, but I can't believe it's been 5 years since that movie's came out. But that's going to get definitely the top A tier movie for me. It might move into S. I need time. Time really is the true test to how like legendary a film is. So maybe Joker will be an S tier after like 2 or 3 years when I revisit that movie. But love that climax, man. Love the climax of like what a unique way to take the end of a technical Batman movie where it's just it's an interview on a TV show. Like, how cool is it that was the climax of the movie? I like that stuff personally. Like, I don't want to see a big battle with CGI monsters and green screen and just I hate that stuff. Obviously, as you can see from my tier list, those movies always have they're clearly lower on my tier list, but it's just I love the ending scene. That last 5 minutes, Joaquin Phoenix acted, his ass off in the movie. Obviously, he won the Oscar, right? So, yeah. I know that the argument for why this movie is not that good is because it's like a copy of the one movie by Martin Scorsese, but don't care. Don't care at all. Do not care. I love it. Yes. I'm interested to see if it does move into S. It's been a while since I've seen it, so maybe it doesn't hold up as good with time, but yeah, I was really obsessed with this movie. And that's again, I get obsessed about Batman movies. It happened when in 2008 with The Dark Knight, and it happened again with The Joker in 2019. I was listening to the soundtrack. I was running like the Joker. He's running down the alleyway. That's probably a little bit too much information. Yeah, I really just am overly obsessed. Okay, here's the topic that everyone talks about when it comes to Batman movies. Where does the most recent Batman movie land with Robert Pattinson? I feel like this has been a really hot topic still, years after it's come out. Like, where do people put this? It's been like 2 years, right, where they put it. Where does this land in the overall overarching ranking of Batman films? I personally like Robert Pattinson as Bruce Wayne. There's a whole argument to be had about these actors, whether it's Bruce Wayne or whether it's Batman. There's a different ranking that each actor has. For example, George Clooney out of the Batman and Robin, the 1999 like really campy movie, I thought he was a good Bruce Wayne, weirdly enough. George Clooney's all like Rico Suave, and he's got he looked like a cool Bruce Wayne. It looks like George Clooney at that time could have been actually Batman at night. I thought he was a cool Bruce Wayne. I thought he was a cheesy, bad Batman. I'm trying to think of the opposite of that. Like maybe Christian Bale wasn't like a great Bruce Wayne, but he was a good Batman, even though he had the funny voice. I love that he made that the iconic Batman voice. Where are they? Like because I like that he solidified that as the as the go-to Batman voice for most people now. Anyways, liked Robert Pattinson as Bruce Wayne, as a younger, brooding Bruce Wayne. I briefly talked about it. Oh man, I briefly talked about this, but I loved Zoe Kravitz as. Oh my god, I didn't include Catwoman, and there's probably a couple other movies that I didn't include because technically Batman didn't appear in Catwoman with who was that lady? Dang, I am gonna completely blank on her name, but I didn't love her as Catwoman. Halle Berry. Halle Berry. I also did not like Anne Hathaway as Catwoman. Everyone loved to hype her up in The Dark Knight Rises as if she was like this great Catwoman. Nope. No, not for me. I did not like. I thought her performance was so boring. I think so many people tried to make it like she was going to be the Heath Ledger Joker for Catwoman. No way. She was boring and bland. I don't know. Yeah, I don't agree. But again, I'm very opinionated about this stuff because this is my favorite franchise. So I didn't like her at all. Loved Zoe Kravitz as Catwoman. Really hot. Really just, dang. She gave me more of the Michelle Pfeiffer vibes for Catwoman. So I loved her as Catwoman. I liked the school shooter sort of Riddler with what's his name? Strange white guy. I don't know. A little bit cringy at times, but at the same time, wasn't he supposed to be cringy? Because he's like this, like, radical internet guy. I'm excited for Batman 2. I like the baseline for what this set up. That's what I'll say. That's what I'll say about the Batman movie, is I like where we're at. Now, this can go one of two ways, because I thought the Amazing Spider-Man with, I don't remember names at all, because I never talk about celebrities. The one after Tobey Maguire and before Tom Holland, blanking on his name, but I thought the first Amazing Spider-Man was a great base for the Amazing Spider-Man 2 to be incredible before it came out. Then the Amazing Spider-Man 2 came out, and it was freaking horrible. So just because you have a good base doesn't mean anything. Now, in the Batman franchise, I believe a good base does usually lead to a good sequel. Well, at least when it comes to Batman Begins led to The Dark Knight, and then the original 1989 Batman led to to Batman Returns. If you include, the Batman and Superman, the Justice League stuff is all its own little thing, so I don't think you can include that. So I'm excited to see where it goes from here. I am not gonna put it here. I'm sorry to say. It's better than the Batman from the 60s, in my opinion. It's better than Batman Forever. It's definitely better than Batman vs Superman. Yeah, I don't like Batman Begins. I just admitted that. So I like, yeah, it's top C or low B. I don't think I've ever fully realized that in my head, but now that I have all the Batman franchise, all the Batman films in front of me, I'm like, yeah, it's either top C or low B. It really depends on how that sequel goes. If the sequel is good, it's gonna land in a solid. It's weird. It shouldn't affect my opinion, but it kind of does. If Robert Pattinson comes back for the sequel and that's an even better film, then the original will be brought up in a way. I think in hindsight, I think that's fair to say. I'll put it there. I'll put it there for now, and it might drop with time. I like it in a top C, but I'll give it the benefit of the doubt and put it in a low B and kind of just see how it goes. But anyways, thank you for watching me geek out about Batman movies. This is really the only thing that I like, franchise wise. I'm not a big Star Wars fan at all. Not anymore, at least. I thought it was okay. I do like Lord of the Rings, and the only other thing that I like are like Godzilla films. But yeah, Lord of the Rings, Batman, Godzilla. But Batman is still ultimately my favorite. But thanks for watching. I'm sure a lot of people will disagree, but yeah, this is just someone that is coming at it with like literally being like a major Batman fanboy for like, I can honestly say for like 29 years. I mean, I was watching Batman when I was like 2 years old. So this is my opinion. See ya.